So we are in all of our winter gear loveliness, boots. The grass is probably going to be wet, so we're probably going to have to come back and change our clothes after taking care of the ponies. So we are hoping to beat the rain.
We remember to measure your head.
We need to measure ahead, so hopefully you have your string.
I
Fit in
do
your pocket.
up front.
Okay, grab it then.
So Fly is definitely a pony. Have you talked about heights and specs? She's a tiny little pony. Hi Gunner. Hey boy.
Yeah, he sometimes brings his head around and sniffs me.
Hey. So we have not met. Hi.
That's Dragon.
Uh-huh. She and I have not met. Honey.
Okay, so this is one possibility for something like quail. If I had a quail cage out here, it's dark though. We do have...
Yeah.
Horse.
Kaya, come here.
What'd she do?
We're just gonna come here for a minute.
What happened?
It's trying to lift over one knee.
Hey,
We
Hopper, come do it again. So this is the part where we need to start teaching Dragonfly that she cannot overpower, nip at, be rude in any way to Kaya. I can't fix it for her. Right here, I am letting her know that she's in trouble. I have untied her so that if she doesn't like being disciplined, she's not pulling back and hurting her head. So I took her rope off of the barn door. And now I'm letting Kaya gain a little bit of confidence. I didn't let Dragonfly bite her again. All Dragonfly did was bend her head around and nip her a bit in the back, but nipping is not appropriate in any size horse. But now I've told her we're going to move out to the middle of the pasture, and what I'm going to teach Kaya is that she's the one in control. And I'm also going to let Kaya teach Dragonfly that Kaya is the one in control. So I've told Kaya right here that what she's going to do is hold on to the rope, and that way if Dragonfly tries to nip her, she can turn around quickly and pop her on the nose with the end of the rope. The reason for this is that just popping her on the shoulder isn't going to do it. It doesn't smart, it doesn't hurt her, it doesn't really teach her a lesson. We also pat her on the shoulder when she's a good girl, so it doesn't make any sense to pop her on the shoulder if she bites. What we're going to do instead is I'm not going to hold Dragonfly. Kaya's going to hold Dragonfly. She's going to pick up each foot. We're not going to worry about the hoof pick because I don't want her accidentally hitting Dragonfly with the hoof pick. If she gets startled, if she's scared, she might take the hoof pick around and hit the horse in the face, which I don't want. So I'm teaching Kaya that she's the one in control of this pony. She needs to tell the pony to whoa, and then she needs to not pull on the rope so hard that she makes the pony move when she's picking up her feet. So Kaya is going to pick up all 4 feet, and she's not going to clean them. She is just going to hold them up. This is a very safe pony. I have a lot of confidence, but you see the little details, like right there where Kaya pulled on her head instead of just holding the rope. These are all things that she's having to learn. And again, it does me no good, it does the pony no good to have me stand there and correct her. And there, Kaya just pushed her hip over. She didn't need to push her hip over. She needs to learn how to get the horse to give her foot without pushing the hip over. So Kaya's going to go back and pick that foot up now. And she needs to learn a little bit of tenacity. This is a big animal compared to her. And if she can't figure out how to be in control of the situation, she's not going to be safe around the animal. So she has to pick that foot up all the way, even though it's heavy. That mare is capable of lifting that foot up and helping Kaya, and what she's showing is that she's not being helpful. She knows that she's bigger, and she knows that Kaya is timid. And so once Kaya learns how to be not timid, that's when this pony's going to start lifting her feet up easy. Now we're going to watch. Pony comes around. Kaya comes up and gets startled, but instead of popping her, she just acts startled. Now, if instead Kaya had come around with that little lead line and popped her in the nose, this pony would know not to try it again. But Kaya didn't. She just looked scared. She stood up and she cried a little bit more, which means that she's going to have to teach her again. So she's going to bend down. She's going to pick up that foot. Pick up the foot. See how she does. Puts it back down. At this point, I'm going to give her back her hoof pick. And we're going to practice this again, and we're going to do it with the hoof pick this time. And you see Kai is a little bit frustrated here. She doesn't want to do this. She feels a little bit scared. And we're not going to ask the horse to pole vault. We're not going to ask the horse to do any huge, strenuous task. All we're asking the horse to do is to be good and quiet for Kaya. That's what she's learning. That's what she's teaching right now. That time she got her. Now the pony might think about having some respect for Kaya. Did Kaya get her very hard? No. Did Kaya wait a second before she popped her? Yes. When you're doing things with horses, it's really important to punish them in the moment and not have a delay. So next time, hopefully Kaya will spin, turn, make some noise, pop her, instead of waiting for there to be that reaction. So she's done a lot better now. The horse's head is down. The horse was not in pain when she nipped. It was not a self-defense nip. It was a, I think I'm the boss. Stop trying to pick up my feet, which is inappropriate. Your ground manners are so important when it comes to your ability to ride that I'm not willing to let the girls ride until they have learned to have the animals have a little bit of respect for them. So she's almost done. Kaya's having to work a little bit because she keeps trying to pull on the rope at the same time she's pulling on the head. But she's getting there, and next time she has to go and take care of this pony, she's going to remember. We do have a longer line for this halter, but we were unable to get the old line off, so that's why it's so short. We do already have a longer lead rope. I'm not angry with her. I just need her to be soft. I need her to be supple, and I need her to give to pressure. So we're going to walk around for just a little minute. She got up a little bit in my face. And yesterday when we rode her, she offered to nip at my ankles when I went to get up on her. So there we go, a little bit of a pop. She was testing me to see if when she brings her head around and comes at my leg, if I'm going to let her do it or not. She's not being punished with what I'm doing right now. She is just needing to listen. So what you saw where I popped her nose, you saw I did not pop her very hard, hardly at all. And it was with a soft rope. There was not a knot in the end, but I did pop her. And all I'm asking is that when I go to get on, that she holds still and that she not turn around and try to nip me. Because it's dangerous. You don't want a horse that thinks it can bite. And again, the reason she did was because when I went to get on her last time, she reached around and didn't actually make contact, but made that head motion and kind of did a fake bite. And I was really tired, so it was kind of I wasn't up to my A game. And so I let her get away with it. And now here we get to take it out of her now. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the lead rope up around her head. She is a safe pony to ride with just a halter in this big space. She's a good pony. But good ponies develop bad habits when people aren't paying attention. So before I let the girls get on, I am going to make sure that she isn't going to try and nip anybody. And I'm just going to watch her ears, and I'm going to go around. And you saw that. She brought her head around, and when she did, I lifted my leg in a sharp motion so that if it was obvious that it was a, hey, you can't do that. And so she didn't. And I ride her around in some tight circles, keep her at a walk, make sure that she's being soft, make sure that she's listening before I put the girls on her. What we're riding her in is just a halter that doesn't fit her very well. Out in a big open pen, and you can see that she might offer to trot just a little bit, but she's not throwing her head around, and she slows down very, very well. So mostly all I'm trying to do is teach her go in a circle, stay calm, be calm. I want the girls to be able to ride her. The one thing is that when you ride bareback, you do have your butt bone right on their spine. We did go get a bareback pad, but it was a super, super cheap one on Craigslist, and it slips a little bit, so that's why I'm on bareback, fully bareback here. Right now, Paige is not jumping on Gunner and just running at a canter all over the field. She's down there teaching him that he can trust her. There's all this noise, there's the traffic, there's the dogs, but he needs to pay attention to her when she's on the ground, and she needs to learn how to calm him down. And one of the ways we're doing that right now is lunging, so that he can go in a circle, get some of his exercise off, and then he's grateful when she lets him stop because, oh, I'm kind of tired. So that's what we're doing right now. Lots and lots of groundwork. Dragonfly, the girls can get up and walk calmly up and down the field. It's teaching her that they can get on and off her. She's already been trained. She's a good pony. But she has to learn to respect them. Just because she respected her last owner and her kids doesn't mean that she respects my kids and me. So today a lot of what you saw was gaining a relationship, gaining trust. Did we hurt the pony? Did she hurt us? I think she wounded Kaya's pride a little bit when she nipped at her. But now she's not doing it. Both of us were able to get out and off. She was able to pick up all the feet, and this is the joy of having animals, is to teach you patience and skill sets.
Yes, dear.
I'm going to help Paige get up.
I'm holding the line. Okay. Hold the line.
So now we're going to switch the girls out, and they each have an individual skill set that they need to learn. One of the things about Paige is that she's big and sometimes a little bit awkward. And what happens here is watch her feet. She kicked under the pony. And she's done that to Gunner before. The first time I had her over just doing some groundwork with him and bouncing next to him, she reached out and kicked underneath him, and it kicked one of his legs, and it startled him. It scared him. He couldn't figure out why she kicked him, and he kicked back. He didn't kick her, but he just kicked kind of out to the side a little bit. And so what we're teaching Paige is to be mindful of her own body and to stop being so excited to trot. We're teaching her that before she can walk, or before she can canter, before she can trot, she needs to learn how to walk. She needs to learn how to have her own balance. And with this little mare, who's super, super safe, it's really good. It is against the rules right now for them to trot, canter, anything except a walk. The reason for that is just that they need to be mindful of the horse. They need to be mindful of the horse's comfort and of their own skills. So right here, I'm bouncing next to Gunner because we don't have a saddle. One of the reasons she keeps seeing us bareback is that I need them to be able to get some kind of riding in every day, so the horses are used to it. But we don't have a saddle. We haven't done that yet. Both our horses have very different backs, and I'm not well sourced on, I don't have good information on how to know what saddle to get for them. So we're just waiting and doing groundwork while we look for saddles. So what I'm doing here is that I'm bouncing next to him, and I want him to pay attention. He keeps looking at my little mare down there, and he wants to pay attention to her. And when your horse isn't paying attention to you, they're a danger to you, because any other thing can make them react, and then they can walk over the top of you. And so when he's staring at her instead of staring at me, I'm going to move his feet a little bit. Not a lot. He's not in trouble. But I do want him to be super calm. When we first got here, he was super nervous, just really nervous. The traffic was terrifying him. The dogs were terrifying him. And so what we're trying to teach him is the correct position to hold himself in when we're next to him. I want him to be alert with one eye on me. I want him to be super mellow. And I don't want him to be herd bound. I don't want him to be focusing on Dragonfly. I'm the most important thing in his life right now. And I don't want him looking at her. Now there, I did not make him run because he did kind of a half tilt to look at her. And he's used to being mounted with a saddle, with a Western saddle. So now I'm going to limber him up. I'm going to ask him to give his head and tip it in, wait for him to give it a little bit more. And when he does, I release. I'm waiting. He's a little bit stiff right now. There's Paige. We really need to get her at least a bareback pad that doesn't slip, because she's heavy enough that I'm worried she's going to make sore spots on the pony's back. So here I am on the other side with Gunner. I'm asking him to give just a little bit more, a little bit more. Come on, give me just a little. There we go. And he gave, and I let go. So I'm trying to limber him up. And I want him to pay attention. There he was. He wanted to follow after the little mare. So we're going to take him in a circle again. He has stopped acting afraid. Now he can be a little bit unfocused, but he's not terrified. And I'm reminding him, nope, you have to stay on the side that I told you. You're not going to start. There he was again. He gave a little bit of a strong neck and wanted to go through, wanted to go to the mare. So we're saying, nope, you get to just stay in a circle. Stay in a circle. Keep going. Keep going. And he wants to go in the other way to say, well, at least I get my own way. And I'm like, nope, you get to go the same way I told you to the first time. I never told you to stop. Let's try that again. Now you see, I'm not being brutal. I'm not being vicious. I'm not angry with him. All I'm doing is giving him the repetition so that he knows that when I ask something the first time, he needs to give it. He is 3/4 Arabian, 1/4 saddlebred. He has a beautiful, lovely little trot that's just a joy to ride. And I'm really excited to see how he turns out. But for now, the traffic and the dogs scare him enough that I really want him to learn to listen. That if I ask him to do something, I need him to do it. And we're both learning each other's cues. So now that he is not worried about the mare and his attention is on me, we're going to have Kaya come in, and I instruct her to stand by his shoulder because it was the back leg that Paige had kicked. She hadn't tapped him very hard, but it did startle him. And so now we're working on him not being afraid of people bouncing around him, of not being afraid if some weight is put on his back. Again, he hasn't been ridden bareback a lot, and we don't have a saddle. So it's just, once again, it's about manners. Is he afraid? We only had her up and then down. So now we're going to go do it on the other side. It's good to be able to mount from both sides if you need to. So we're just doing it from both sides. And I have Kaya right next to me so that if he did freak out, I could spin his butt away from us and pull her out of the way. And that's one of the reasons that I'm that close. There he goes, and he handled it fine. We're going to go around to the other side. And he likes this work right now because he's not going in a circle. He's paying attention. Everything is good. And we're just going to let her get up a little bit longer and a little bit longer. Okay, can you take him? So, and go over there a little bit next to the fence. Let him know that you're the one with the rope. Okay?
Okay.
Come on.
There you go.
You got it, honey. Don't make the rope so short.
And he follows like a champ.